Hillary Clinton is staying in the headlines after her security clearance was revoked. But here's the catch. It was at her own request and responding to more questions about the Monica Lewinsky scandal. Meanwhile, Senator Elizabeth Warren is facing some backlash after trying to settle the question behind her Native American heritage. For more, we are joined by our political panel, former Georgia State Representative and Attorney LaDon Jones, and Ted Harvey from the Committee to Defend the President. Wow, what a great two topics, very controversial topics, and I can't think of two better people to talk about than you, LaDon and Ted. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so LaDon, Secretary Clinton had her security clearance revoked, well, but at her own request. What do you make of Clinton continuing to put herself in the headlines, and why do you think she did this?
You know, I highly respect Secretary Clinton and all that she has done for our country, all that she has done for Democrats. But it's time for her to fade to black and just to kind of take a step back so that we can address the policies. It was unfortunate to see her the minute that something uncomfortable came up. She continued the rhetoric that Donald Trump often goes on. If there's something you don't like, pivot and bring up other political topics that keep muddying the water. It's just, she can enjoy what she has done for our country and rest assured that we got it covered from here.
Ted, I think this is one issue you might not debate LaDon on. I think you agree, but why do you think she continues to put her name out there?
She is the gift that keeps on giving. I think she is desperate to stay relevant. I think she's desperate to be able to establish her name for herself, to go out on tour with her husband and to make money. The family really has no means to make money moving forward because the Clinton Foundation has been shut down, and she has no way to be able to take her name and bring money into the Clinton Foundation. So they're going on the road for these big events, and she's trying to keep her name out there.
But Ted, this brings up an even bigger issue. We're talking about security clearances, and this has been raised a few weeks ago when Donald Trump first threatened to take away her security clearance. But it's not just Secretary Clinton. It's everybody that was kind of around her, Huma Abedin, others. Why is it that we continue, once you get out of office, isn't it kind of like being fired from a job? You should have all the clearances kind of revoked regardless of what party you're a part of. You don't have the job anymore, so why do you need it even after the transition period?
I agree. I've been harping on this for months, that nobody that's leaving from one administration to the next should be allowed to keep their security clearance. There's no reason for them to do that. It is not a party gift that you get as you're walking out the door. It is something that we use as national security. And if they have the means to harm our national security in some way, then we should take away their security clearance. And I think anybody walking out the door should have their security clearance removed.
LaDon, do you kind of agree for this? It kind of going forward?
You know, I really don't see the reason why you need security clearance, but here's the problem that I do have and where we do disagree. You know, until this administration, whether previous administrations had security clearance wasn't an issue, but Donald Trump manages to just make everything a controversy. And we know in this case that Hillary Clinton pulled her own security clearance, but it was in support of the politics that Trump was playing, and that's really where the real issue comes in. If there's a reason or not, I don't know, but why is our president bringing down the morality of our entire country and precedent that has long been set?
Well, it's interesting you talk about bringing something down because a long-standing fight has been between Senator Elizabeth Warren and Donald Trump and vice versa. So, Ted, I have to ask you, Senator Warren released a DNA test that shows strong evidence that she has Native American heritage going back 6 to 10 generations. I can't even get past 3 generations of my family, but God bless her for being able to do this. So she's gone back and forth with the president. How even, pledging a $1 million, where the president's pledged $1 million if the senator can prove the claim. When asked about the revelation today, Trump went back and said, who cares? What do you make of Warren releasing this information after this 2-year dispute and name-calling basically between the two of them?
Well, I think what's odd is the timing of it. We are in the middle of October going into a major mid-year election, and all of a sudden a presidential candidate comes out with something like this to put her name in the middle of midterm elections. I think it's very odd, but I do think it's interesting that somebody who has claimed for her entire life, even when she was applying for jobs at Harvard, that she was a Native American, can't even prove that she's 1/100% Native American when the Cherokee tribe won't even accept anybody unless they have 1/16 proof that they are Cherokee. The average Caucasian American in the United States has more than Senator Warren does, and she's been using this as her name to go out there and run for office. I think that's what's outrageous, not the fact that that Trump is making an issue out of it.
But that's the thing, LaDawn, it's a claim. But also Donald Trump claimed that he was going to give her $1 million if she proved she had a heritage, and she did that. So what do you take about Trump going back on his promise? And is this kind of reminiscent of Obama releasing his birth certificate, too? A lot of people are kind of bringing that back into the question. Does Trump just kind of go back when he's proven wrong?
Every time. Big surprise, right? That Trump is not going to fulfill a promise that he said that he was going to fulfill. Just like all the loans he took out before he claimed bankruptcy, just like all the other claims about his taxes and other things that have gone along in his entire presidency and before he ran. You know, kudos to Senator Warren, because in this country, the way that we have treated Native Americans, it is surprising that someone is fighting so hard to be considered Native American. And good for her, because hopefully it will bring attention to some of the Native American issues that are still going on in our country. But as it relates to Trump, we knew that he wasn't going to keep up with it. He's a big talker. He's a whole lot of hot air, but he usually is not saying much.
Well, I'm going to keep my promise to both of you to have you both back on, because there's a lot more issues I want to talk about. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Scotty.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.